Hey family, give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm driving. Let me straighten it up. Let's see. I told you I'm not gonna be doing videos on here, but this is something I feel like somebody need to hear. Maybe more than one person, and then there's some other people that don't want you to know this, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. What if I told you that people like when you're broken? Hold on. Okay. What I was saying was, what if I told you that people like when you're broken? What do I mean by that when I say people like when you're broken? They like you broken because you're easy access when you're broken. What if I told you that there are people that are not interested in you healing, and they are trying and doing everything they could possibly do on the low without you really detecting it, to keep you broken and stuck and doing low vibrational things? For example, there are people that are very close to you, possibly your family, definitely friends, so-called friends or associates, and they have you doing low vibrational things to get you to, figuring out what it is that you like to do that's derogatory, if I put it that way. And once they figure that out, they funnel those things to you. And one example could be sex. And I'm not going to say intimacy because that's two different things. So they know that is probably your biggest hang up, where you got to have it. It don't matter who it is, after a while, that's what it becomes. So they're going to feed whatever that thing that keeps you broken. They're going to feed that for you. Hold on, I'm driving. They're going to feed that brokenness in you with more of the same brokenness to keep you broken. Because in that state of mind and state of spirit, that low vibrational state, you're usable. They can take things from you, or they can get you to do some things that's for their benefit. You are a benefit to certain people when you're broken, because they can get from you what they want when you're broken, because you're so focused on the thing that that broke you, that's got you doing all kind of craziness, that you can't see the sleight of hand. You ever, like, people that are card sharks, they say at the casinos and stuff, they have what you call a sleight of hand. They're professional shufflers, and you don't even know when they're doing something tricky to trick you to where you gonna lose, more than likely, because the house don't like to lose. So the benefit of a casino is that they always win. That way they keep the money. They ain't got to give you nothing, but they can take from you. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm using this to point out the fact that if you can't, we can keep you busy and occupied with some low vibrational things, and things that we know that you really favor, things that we know is gonna have you going in the wrong direction, and we can keep feeding and occupy you with that. And you won't see the sleight of hand of us benefiting from you being that way. We're getting things from you without you really seeing it as us stealing from you, because that's exactly what they're doing. So if you are the person in, let's just use this example, you're the person in the family that always get money some kind of way. Oh, you're a worker, you're a hustler, you're gonna work, you're gonna make the money. You know what I'm saying? And they know that about you. They will. Certain ones that are like this ain't for everybody, so don't get mad, Just listen to what I'm saying. If it ain't for you, dismiss it. But certain ones in your family know how you are, and they benefit from you giving them money. This is an example. Some kind of way they get money out of you. They will keep you broken and in that broken, raggedy state, doing low vibrational things, appealing to your addictions that you may have that you don't even know is an addiction, but they do. Because some people know you better than you know yourself. And will keep you vibrating low by feeding these addictions and stuff that broke you, continue to feed that to you to keep you broken so that they can continue to benefit from you and continue to get money from you. Because you have become a cash cow. They look at you as somebody, okay, that has the ability to somehow come up on some money some kind of way. And they want that, and they want to continue to have access to be able to get that from you, okay? Now, they don't want anything in the way that's stopping they don't want anything that comes in the way to stop them from being able to receive what they've been receiving from you for years, unbeknownst to you, because you have not been paying attention. And the reason why is they have kept you occupied and blinded to the fact that this is what they have been doing to you ever since who knows when. They benefit from you. You're going to take care of them in some kind of way. They know you are somebody that they can go to and get some money from. Now remember, this is an example. So if anybody come along that is not with their little program that could stop you from and have you disconnecting from being used by them, they are going to destroy that relationship some kind of way. I don't care if it's a friend, if it's romantic, whatever it is, what kind of relationship. If the person that comes along to be connected to you, the person that's being used, if they come along to the person that's being used and the person that's being used, their actions start changing. They start thinking differently. They start talking differently. It's not what the program of those that's using them, they are going to do and say anything within their power to destroy that connection so that they can continue to use you. So these are people that say they love you. These are people that say you they boy, you they girl. These are people you grew up with. These are people that live next door to you, could be. These are people that you've been knowing for a long, long time that you would never suspect. It's always the unusual suspects that have a problem with you not continuing with their program, because this has been going on for years and you just didn't notice it because they keep you occupied into some mess, some garbage, some low vibrational stuff. And so like the example I used was sex. So if that is your thing, they have been doing this for years. And what started off small, now you wide open. I mean, you wilding, you out there in the streets, and at some point, some people is just they gotta have it, and then some people, their addiction, they done fed it so much in different ways that introduce you to other ways to keep you hooked to that. By introducing twosomes and threesomes, they'll bring people to you, and then if they still feel like you slipping, because at one point you almost got out of the program, they're going to amp it up a little bit more and say, hey, you can have a whole crowd. Let's bring them all in. Let's throw in a man or a woman or whatever. Hey, you could be, and this is an example, but this is something that came to me because this is happening to somebody. You can be, how about you have a whole coven? For example, if you're, a coven usually is women, okay? So I'm going to say that. Usually it's women, but it can be vice versa. How about you have a coven of women and you the only man, and y'all, you got like 10. And I'm just throwing numbers out there. And all of y'all can do whatever y'all want, singularly, one-on-one, or all together. It don't matter. Hey, let's branch it out a little bit more and add another guy and a bunch of y'all, and y'all all live in the same house, and y'all can have this thing going on rotation every night. It's this and every. Let me tell you something. These people have learned what your addictions are. And they are going to feed it. Why? Because you have not been paying attention to the fact that you are being used. Because they know you have the ability to get wealth and the ability to get money, and you can sustain them. So you're the cash cow. But they don't want you to know that that's how they're looking at you like that. So they've learned what you are addicted to, what you're attracted to. It could be drugs. They've learned that. And if you wasn't on drugs and wasn't doing drugs before, they will introduce them to you to keep you low vibrational. So you never grow out of that program. You never see that you're a part of the program. You never see your own worth, your own value. They don't want you to see that. Excuse me. And I know this is why I know somebody don't want me to say this. It's the truth. They do not want you to realize what's been happening all these years. And again, these could be family, friends, your homeboys, your homegirls, cousins, nieces, nephews. They've all conspired to keep you at a certain state where you never grow past the program that they have set in place since you were younger. They're all a part of it. And God forbid you was a kid and something happened to you on that level, and one or two people know about it. They didn't even try to help you. They didn't try to console you, or maybe you just never told nobody, but somebody figured out that you had a problem in that area, and they have been capitalizing off of that since you were young. And they have been using you. And using you, yes, they have been. And I would wager to say, and this just came to me. See, how do I put this? The main romantic partner, because at this point, they've crafted it so that there's several. And you're used to that now. So you're doing it on your own. They started, and then you become a robot and you just start doing what they started. They devise new ways every time they feel like their grip is slipping on you. And one of the ways is your main romantic interest, your ride or die, who's a part of the coven or who's a part of the group of females or whatever. And I'm using this as an example. This could be true, though. It's just dropped in my spirit. These people, that have constructed this little program to keep you down, to keep you from growing, from being the best that you could be in your life. They don't want you to grow past that. They don't want you to get smart. They don't want you to see the program that they placed you in. They don't want you to see that they've been using you. They don't want, because they don't want to be cut off. They don't want to be cut off because you're a benefit to them because you're broken. But they'll go so far as to your main romantic partner. They will behind your back conspire with that person to keep you in this state. What I mean by conspire, behind your back without you knowing, they're talking to these other people that's supposed to be your family, your friends, or whatever, that don't want you to wake up. They are talking to them behind your back. They have reached out to them some kind of way to talk to them to keep you stuck. And they are working together behind your back. This is how I know. Every time I try to get to this point, I start having problems, start coughing. But I'm going to say it anyway. They have conspired behind your back with your main squeeze, whatever, main romantic partner out of the many that they have funneled your way, and that you're doing it now on your own because this is something that's been happening for years and you didn't see the switch up when they stopped and you started. They have conspired with your main squeeze, your main romantic, your main lover, to work with them to work against you, to keep you in a certain state of mind, a certain state of spirit, because you're broken, because you're a benefit. And if the deal is we work together, gosh, this is crazy. If we work together, we all get something. We all, can benefit off this person. Now, what if this is your Dang. Your family. What if this is your sisters and your brothers and stuff, and these are people y'all been, supposedly good all these years and stuff, and y'all, they know the type of stuff that you do and stuff, and they don't care because you're not doing nothing different than what they want you to do anyway. So, but what if it's them that is conspiring to keep you that way, and you find out? You find out that they've been pulling strings all these years of your life since you were young, and you find out about that. What are you gonna do? Wow, that's deep to think about. Finding out that the people closest to you is conspiring to keep you broken, and you didn't even know it. All these years that went by, and you never knew. And you find out. What are you gonna do? Because when you find out, you're gonna understand why all those other relationships didn't work that probably should have. You're gonna find out. These are the same people that whenever you get close to breaking away from their little control that they have over you, whenever you get close and they see that, they sabotage it for you by speaking in your ear and in your spirit and controlling you and painting a picture that's not real about the situation that you're in with somebody else. Because that new person that has just popped up on the scene is the reason why they say, where did that person come from? Because they automatically know that person is not like the others. One of these things is not like the others, and we can't have you doing your own thing and thinking for yourself. We've been doing the thinking for you all these years. You just didn't know that. And so this new person is going to have you thinking for yourself and valuing, and you're going to find your worth. And once you find your worth, we lose control. And if we lose control, then we lose the benefit of you being broken. Peace, love, and light.